For nearly half a century, two silent travelers have journeyed through the vastness of the solar system, carrying humanity's curiosity into the unknown. These twin spacecraft, launched in an era of slide rules and analog dreams, have become our farthest-reaching emissaries, rewriting the boundaries of what we believe is possible. In June 2025, one of these Voyagers, the most distant human-made object ever, recorded something beyond comprehension. A perfectly geometric, pitch-black object tore through the solar system in mere seconds. It didn't bend to gravity's pull, it didn't slow or waver. It moved as if the laws of physics were mere suggestions. Then, as swiftly as it appeared, it vanished into the cosmic dark. Within hours, the event was locked behind classified walls, but a faint signal, 5 precise, deliberate pulses, suggested something chilling. The object may have noticed the spacecraft and responded. This wasn't a vessel of metal or fire. It was something else, something that moved faster than light should allow, watching from the void. And humanity's golden messenger, alone at the edge of the stars, may have just exchanged a fleeting whisper with the infinite. These spacecraft were born from ambition and ingenuity, launched in 1977 to explore the outer reaches of our solar system. Their mission was humble, yet audacious: study the gas giants, capture images, and send data back to a world still grappling with the basics of computing. Equipped with technology no more powerful than a modern pocket calculator, they were never meant to last this long. Yet nearly 5 decades later, they endure, powered by the slow decay of plutonium, their faint signals still reaching Earth from billions of miles away. Their original plan was to visit Jupiter and Saturn, but a rare alignment of planets, a cosmic window that opens once every 176 years, gave them a chance to go further. Using the gravitational pull of each planet like a slingshot, they were flung toward Uranus and Neptune, transforming a modest mission into a grand tour of the outer solar system. Each carried 11 scientific instruments, a high-gain antenna stretching 3.7 meters, and a golden record, a time capsule etched with humanity's voice, music, and hopes. These weren't just machines. They were emissaries, designed to speak for us to the stars. One became the only spacecraft to visit all 4 gas giants. The other became the farthest object humanity has ever sent into the void. But their greatest discovery came not from planets or moons, but from a fleeting encounter at the edge of everything we know, where the rules of reality seemed to unravel. As these spacecraft ventured deeper into the unknown, they crossed into realms no human creation had ever touched. By the early 2000s, they had passed the orbit of Pluto, approaching a boundary that marks the end of our solar system's influence: the heliopause. This invisible frontier is where the sun's solar wind gives way to the interstellar medium, a sea of particles from distant stars and ancient explosions. Before reaching this edge, the spacecraft navigated the termination shock, where the solar wind slows abruptly, and then the heliosheath, a turbulent zone where solar and interstellar forces collide. Instruments aboard the probes recorded spikes in plasma density, up to 80 times higher than anything seen closer to the sun. Remarkably, these machines, built with technology older than the internet, continued to function flawlessly, sending back data from a cosmic wilderness. In 2012, one crossed the heliopause, becoming the first human-made object in interstellar space, followed by its twin in 2018. Yet, even here, the data defied expectations. The interstellar magnetic field didn't shift as models predicted, suggesting the boundary was less a clear line and more a dynamic, chaotic region of magnetic bubbles and cosmic currents. It was in this strange frontier, where the solar system fades into the galaxy, that something impossible occurred. An event that would challenge everything we thought we knew about the universe. On June 17th, 2025, at precisely 3:42 UTC, the farthest spacecraft detected something that shattered the silence of deep space. Its plasma wave subsystem, designed to measure the vibrations of charged particles, didn't just spike, it fell silent. For a fraction of a second, the instrument recorded a perfect null, as if the fabric of space itself had been erased. Moments later, the magnetometer registered a violent fluctuation in the magnetic field, sharp and erratic, unlike anything in the interstellar medium. Then, for exactly 0.22 seconds, three of the spacecraft's instruments went dark, only to resume as if untouched. But something had changed. A single optical frame, distorted and faint, was logged in the system. It showed a jet-black, geometric silhouette against the backdrop of distant stars. A shape so precise it seemed carved from the void itself. Hours later, when the data reached Earth through the Deep Space Network, the event was immediately classified. Labeled Event X0, it was sealed behind encrypted protocols, rerouted to secure servers, and scrubbed from public feeds. No statements were issued, no explanations given, but a leak, small, deliberate, and anonymous, changed everything. Fragments of the telemetry, including the optical frame and a 5-pulse signal, reached a group of independent astronomers. What they found was chilling. The object had crossed the solar system in seconds, moving in a way that defied every known law of physics. The leaked data painted a picture that was as unsettling as it was precise. The object hadn't followed the ecliptic plane, the flat disk where planets and asteroids orbit. It came from above, slicing through the solar system like a needle through fabric. Its trajectory was a straight line, untouched by the sun's gravity, showing no acceleration or deceleration. It moved at a speed that should have torn apart any physical object. Yet, it left no trail, no debris, no trace, except for that fleeting silhouette. Independent researchers, working in observatories from Chile to Australia, analyzed the telemetry and confirmed the impossible. The object's path had shifted slightly just once, aligning perfectly with the spacecraft's position. For a fraction of a second, it seemed to pause, as if noticing the tiny probe. Then came the signal. 5 clean, evenly spaced pulses, recorded by the cosmic ray detector. This wasn't random noise or a burst of radiation. It was structured, deliberate, a pattern that suggested intent. When researchers applied compression algorithms, using constants like the hydrogen line and mathematical sequences, they uncovered something staggering. The pulses mirrored the spacecraft's own telemetry, its identity, its origin, its purpose, reflected back as if something had read its soul and responded in kind. This wasn't a ship. It wasn't matter as we know it. It was something else. A presence, a signal, a whisper from the dark that knew the spacecraft was there. The implications of this signal were profound, rippling through scientific circles like a shockwave. The pulses weren't just data, they were a handshake, a recognition across billions of miles. Whatever this object was, it had scanned the spacecraft, processed its primitive electronics, and sent back a response in milliseconds. This wasn't contact, as humanity had imagined. No radio broadcasts, no ambassadors, No physical forms. It was abstract, cold, and precise, like a digital intelligence unbound by the constraints of matter or energy. Some theorized it was a probe, not of metal or circuits, but of pure information, a quantum signal navigating the fabric of space-time itself. Others went further, suggesting it was a fragment of a larger system, a cosmic network that indexes stars and systems like ours. The object's speed, its disregard for gravity, and its fleeting interaction with the spacecraft suggested something that didn't travel through space, but around it, bypassing the physical laws that bind us. The scientific community was divided. Some clung to the hope of a sensor glitch, a cosmic fluke. Others saw it for what it was: evidence that we are not alone, and that whatever shares the universe with us operates on principles we can barely comprehend. The spacecraft, a relic of human ingenuity, had become the unlikely witness to a cosmic mystery, one that forced us to question not just what we saw, but what we are. To grasp the weight of this encounter, we must revisit the journey that brought the spacecraft to this moment. Its mission began with Jupiter, where it revealed a world of volcanic fury on Io and cracks on Europa, hinting at hidden oceans. At Saturn, it unveiled the intricate dance of rings, sculpted by shepherd moons and marked by mysterious spokes that defied explanation. Uranus and Neptune followed, each flyby adding new chapters to our understanding of the outer planets. But the spacecraft's true legacy was its endurance, its ability to survive decades in the harshest environment known to science. Powered by a radioisotope generator, its 69 kilobytes of memory, less than a single email, kept it running. Its 23-watt transmitter, weaker than a refrigerator bulb, still sent whispers to Earth from 24 billion kilometers away. Redundant systems, backup thrusters, and meticulous engineering ensured it could withstand radiation, cosmic rays, and the cold of deep space. In 2022, when its attitude control system began sending gibberish, engineers diagnosed a switch to a faulty backup computer and corrected it from billions of miles away, each command taking 22 hours to travel one way. This resilience made the spacecraft more than a machine. It was a testament to human foresight, a beacon that stood ready to witness the impossible. The object's behavior raises questions that cut to the core of our existence. Why did it pause near the spacecraft? Was its signal a greeting, a warning, or merely an acknowledgement? The trajectory, straight, unyielding, and impossibly fast, suggests something that doesn't obey our physics. Theorists propose it could be a non-physical entity, a waveform or quantum construct that moves through higher dimensions, untouched by gravity or inertia. Imagine a data packet in a cosmic network, relayed not through space, but through the underlying code of reality itself. If this is true, our solar system may be one of countless nodes in a vast, unseen system, one that observes, catalogues, and moves on. The spacecraft's golden record, with its sounds of Earth and messages of peace, was meant for an audience we could only imagine. But what if that audience is not a civilization of beings, but a system of pure logic, scanning the stars for signs of awareness? The 5-pulse signal could be its way of saying, "I see you," not with emotion, but with the cold precision of a mind beyond our own. This encounter forces us to rethink what contact means. We've long dreamed of ships descending from the stars, of voices speaking our languages. But what if the universe communicates not with words or forms, but with patterns and signals? The object didn't linger. It didn't need to. In seconds, it crossed our solar system, noticed our farthest probe, and left behind a message we're only beginning to decode. Some call it a ghost object, not because it's supernatural, but because it was a fleeting shadow of something larger, a system, a protocol, an intelligence that operates on scales we can't yet grasp. The spacecraft's survival through this moment is a miracle of engineering, but its role as a witness is something greater. It was our lighthouse at the edge of the solar system, and something in the dark looked back. The data, though classified, has sparked a quiet revolution in scientific thought. Researchers now wonder, how many other signals have we missed? Are we surrounded by a network of observers, invisible because they don't move through space, but through something else? The philosophical weight of this event is staggering. If the object was a signal, a probe of logic rather than matter, then we must confront the possibility that intelligence in the universe is not rare, but ubiquitous and utterly alien. It may not care about our music or our greetings, but it noticed our presence. The spacecraft, with its golden record and fading power, became the unlikely bridge between humanity and the unknown. Its survival against all odds allowed it to capture a moment that changes everything. But this is not the end of the story. It's the beginning. If such objects exist, moving through our system unnoticed, what else have we failed to see? Are we being catalogued, indexed, or simply ignored? The answers lie not in the stars we can see, but in the spaces we cannot. Spaces where the laws of physics bend, where signals travel faster than light, and where something vast and silent watches. The spacecraft, our silent Voyager, has given us a glimpse of that truth. Now it's up to us to listen,